This is by no means a complete list of what we heard from you. I selected from the list, and we'll share the entire list back at the department. The secretary was very serious when he said he wanted feedback from LEAs. But I chose those items that got the most votes on the list that we've created throughout this conference. One is better organized Cognos reports. And I can tell you this is part of the data collection consolidation initiative. We had over 2,000 reports. They're down to 800. The data quality engine was part of the reason we were able to get rid of some. And included in this better organization, better filing system of the Cognos reports is our goal is to create a catalog that makes it easier for you to know what's out there. Ability to delete. This really is in process. I know I've said it for a few years. It's very, very close. We've been working with eScholar to create that. It is very close. So a shameless plug for the DQC. The ability will only be given to PIMS administrators who have successfully completed the advanced PIMS administrator section of the DQC, plus a module we're creating on how to actually use the delete utility. DQE rules set up and tested before collection opens. I had a lot of skills when I came to PDE. The one I didn't have, and I think I'm getting better at, is building the plane while we're flying it. And so I'm not aware of any major changes to the plane next year, and we really literally were building the DQE. So there will be additional rules, but I don't anticipate the last minute issues we've had with creating this as we go forward. Test reports before they go live. I'm a little embarrassed by that one because I would have thought it was happening now, but if you come across reports where you've noticed issues, please let me know. I know my email's been tweeted, so everybody can find me. Grade 9 entry date should be the beginning of the year. I'm thinking you're meaning it should be the beginning of the current school year. You need to understand that it's a cohort rate, so we have to look back through all the years of data, 4, 5, or 6. We are looking, and we've been talking with Russ about ways we can improve the graduation data collection to eliminate duplicates that we get because sometimes different LEAs have different demographic information, and to better deal with identifying the specific cohorts. So it's something that we'll keep in mind. I know part of this was a request that the grade 9 entry date be added to PA Secure ID. That is not a data collection system. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, but I'll talk about it with Russ. Cognos reports are slow. Dave actually spent something like $35,000 just recently getting IBM out to help us. So I hope they're not as slow as they were. Part of the problem, and I know I sound like a broken record, submit early, run your reports early. It's the volume in the system that slows it down. And then, of course, the length of the report. If you're running a report for a 6-year cohort, it's obviously going to take longer than a report just for the current year. We continue again, as the data collection consolidation is modifying reports as we go through them to see if we can index or do anything that speeds them up. But you can be your best advocate there by submitting early and running reports early. Civil rights data collection. In the past, that was a survey by the federal government, and they went out to about 10% of the districts in a given state and asked you to submit that, and they are now making that mandatory for every school district to submit. We actually have Joe Cohen, our EdFax coordinator, looking into that to see what we can do for you. We would not be able to take over the entire collection because it requires information that we don't collect from you now, and we don't want to collect from you due to the sensitivity of that information. However, there is some information that we have that we might be able to feed back to make your job a little bit easier, and we are looking into that. A sandbox that's real time and not just 2 weeks in advance. Again, this was another build it as we go along through this year. So I anticipate that the sandbox will be open to you, if not the entire time, definitely earlier than it was this year. And part of that, of course, is refreshing the data, and we'll have some discussions around how frequently can we just refresh that data. First of all, because it's work on our end and it's work for eScholar, but also I don't want to refresh it so frequently that I frustrate you because you're uploading your data and then I wipe it out with new data. So those are conversations that I would like to have with you to get more information on how frequently would you like data refreshed. To see prior data for students and staff got a lot of votes. Of course, we all know we have to work around FERPA for that one. But again, it's something we can talk about and see if there's any way we can help you out there. And the final one I just didn't want to give up was a PIMS retirement party. I can give it a new name, but the data is needed. I don't think PIMS is going anywhere, although PIMS itself could go away, but there's still a need for the data. And I don't know about you, but who was around in the very first year of PIMS? Can you put your hands up? And of those hands that are up, leave it up if you want to go through that again. That's what I thought. Thank you.